Hello, this is Jordan Ray with Planner.net. I'm just going to demo the easy gradebook that I made with the backing of Google Spreadsheets. Follow the link in the description or below this video to go ahead and start the copy document process. And it'll bring you to a page looking just like this, and go ahead and click on Make a Copy. It'll take a couple of seconds while Google saves that file to the root of your drive, your Google Drive. And you'll see that I've already got some data in this for you. It's got a student number column, first name, last name, class group, email, parent email, and password, and then an average column. Everything in here needs to kind of be left the same. This first row, this header row, needs to kind of all remain where it is. But the other things, as you'll see, the data in here can kind of be removed. The first thing I want you to do is go into Setup Functions and Start New Gradebook. You're going to have to authorize a few things. And this is just telling Google that you are allowed to make a few changes. Do you want to delete all of the data in the table? No, I'm going to say no because I want to use this data as an example, but you would probably say yes just to clear everything out and start from scratch. But as I said, I want this temporary data just for demonstration. Once you've done that, it's basically ready to use and start creating assignments. As you see, all of the assignments that you create, I'm just going to do first projects. And that first project is going to be today, April 19th. And you'll see that project gets created directly to the right of this yellow average column. And you can just create the columns yourself, just insert one to the right. Everything to the right of this average column is fine to make changes to, but I just tried to automate that process with a new assignment. You'll see it creates a note with that date right in there. Now, to make this a truly a functional gradebook, now we need to go into Tools, Script Editor, and you're going to have to deploy this as a web app to share with your students. And go ahead and publish, deploy as a web app. Your project version, you're going to just say first deploy. And who has access to the app should be anyone, because you're going to be sharing this with your students. And that would be, I think that's anyone who's logged in with a Google account anywhere. Anyone, even anonymous, would let anybody kind of browse to the website, which is probably fine, but you can make that decision yourself. And you'll see this project is now deployed as a web app. It gives you a current web app URL and even a link to the latest code. You don't need any of that. In fact, you need this URL, but I'm going to show you an easier way to find that. Also, in the script editor, you can see all of the kind of behind the scenes code that I threw together to make this whole thing work. Now you can get that URL underneath the Setup Functions Get URL of Online Gradebook. Now that you've deployed that, it makes that link available to you, and you can just paste that right into a new new tab. Go to it. See that. You can also embed this in Google Sites and then make this gradebook available on your Google site, which is another great way to make these grades accessible for your students. Now I'm just going to type in grade here for Einstein, and you'll see that there is a password field and an email. The email is going to be the login. Password column is going to be the password, and we've got Albert Einstein and Inc. 97. And you can see right there, it's just displaying everything from this average column to the right. What I would do once you have this, because this is not the most secure little password field, and you can actually go into setup functions, generate passwords, and it'll generate brand new passwords. And this is not the most secure password field ever, so I would just hide this column for general use. You could even hide, email and parent email, just because you don't need to use that on probably a day-by-day basis. And if you ever need them back, there's a little, you can put those right back out there. So that being said, I'm looking for suggestions on how to make this better, improvements to make, problems that you have with it, problems that you can see with it. Right now, it's just a very simple, easy gradebook. And I'd like to hear your feedback. Thanks a lot.